What is up, guys? Apple here, and in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about what I think Apple could do with Apple Watch in the near future. So I made a post on Instagram and Twitter asking what you guys thought Apple could bring to Apple Watch in the near future, and you guys gave some very good answers. So I'm going to go over them, and then I'm going to tell you guys what I think as well. So I'm going to start with Instagram, and the first comment comes from my good friend Janie Colfer, and she says a camera. Now, we talked about this before I recorded the video, and I was telling her, well, the iPhone has Face ID, now the newer iPads have Face ID, and I think it would be great for Apple Watch to have Face ID for a quicker, much cleaner experience for entering your Apple Watch. Um, Now, a lot of people do not have a passcode altogether, which I don't think is a good idea. There is the passcode feature to put on your Apple Watch. I think that is a safer way to do it, although it is an extra step because you have to put in your passcode depending on how many numbers it is. It is an extra step, but I do think for security purposes, in case that you're going to, like, let's say your pool or the beach and you don't want to wear your Apple Watch in the water, you leave it in the land, and um, you know somebody picks it up and wants to access something on your Apple Watch. It'll be harder for them to do it if you have Face ID or Touch ID for that matter. And do think that Apple could implement Touch ID, for a much cleaner and safer way to access your Apple Watch for those security purposes. So I do think a camera would be a great idea just for that purpose, not necessarily to, take pictures. I mean, uh, honestly, it would be really weird to take a picture on your Apple Watch, having your phone watch and your hand extended like that. It would really, really look strange. Um, and the picture wouldn't be coming out good as it is anyway. So the next comment that I got comes from Tech for Your Needs, and he says, the rumors are diabetes testing. It's hard to tell what else Apple will put besides software improvements. And that is a great idea. Apple has always concentrated on health features when it comes to Apple Watch, to make your health experience a little bit better every time. Um, there's just so much Apple Watch gives you to track your health, and I do think that is a great way to continue to do so. So, we're going to move on to Twitter, and um, this comment comes from my friend Miles. You might know him as Miles Laramie or Miles Tech. He does join me on some of my live streams, and he does have a channel as well. Go check him out. He's been doing really good content. I think you would really enjoy it as well. So he says eSIM. Now, Apple has tried and tried over and over again to separate the Apple Watch from the iPhone. There are LTE versions of the Apple Watch that you don't necessarily need your iPhone. Um, and so I do think that the eSIM would be a great idea. I just don't know how Apple would implement that into the um, Apple Watch, considering, it is a small device, and there are a lot in the Apple Watch. Whether or not you think, though, there are a lot of chips and little pieces, so I'm not really sure how they would implement the eSIM, but I do think it is a great idea. This next comment comes from Michael Pepper from Michael Pepper Tech Talk. Um, he is also a great friend of mine and a content creator. I do think you guys should go check him out as well. So he says better battery life and faster charging. Absolutely. Apple does concentrate on battery and performance. Um, so I do think that is definitely coming to the next Apple Watch. He also goes on to say also more customizations as far as faces and complications. Yes, it is great to see Apple giving us more Apple Watch faces and complications that help us go about our day, our day-to-day lives. So I do think that that is a great idea. Let's see. This next comment comes from Mike, also known as Tech702. He is another content creator. Go check him out. He is really, really good and he does know his stuff. So he says, battery that lasts more than a half a day. Yeah, I do think that Apple does concentrate on battery. Depending on how much you use it, it does go really, really quickly throughout your day. And it also depends on what version you have as well. The older versions are slowly dying out. Using your Apple Watch day to day, the battery health does degrade over time. So, yeah, I do think that is a great idea. He also goes on to say a blood pressure monitor, oxygen saturation, and to be able to use without your iPhone. Yeah, definitely. Apple Watch is a great health tracking device, and I do see this happening with Apple Watch. Um, like I said, they amaze us year after year, giving us more and more health features on the Apple Watch. So I do think that that is a great idea. Alright, so this comes from another content creator and a good friend of mine, Keen Hoy, as you know him, Daily Apple. And he goes on to say a keyboard. There are watch applications that you can get a keyboard. But yeah, I do think that Apple should implement a keyboard to, for texting experiences and stuff like that. That would be a great idea. Um, Although I do like the Scribbler, I use that to text every day on my Apple Watch. But yeah, you're right. A keyboard would be a much easier way to go about it. So yeah, I want to thank everybody who participated in this and answered this question. I'm going to tell you guys what I think Apple Watch needs. And I did go about it a little bit in the beginning. Now, I do think that Apple Watch, again, is a very good device. And I do think that they have done amazing with health features and everything. And I don't think that they can do much more when it comes to health features, although I could be wrong. What I do think that they should do is give us a either Face ID or Touch ID. Like I said in the beginning, if you're out and you have your watch off your wrist, you don't want people to gain access to your Apple Watch and the information you have on that watch. So I do think for security purposes, it would be cool to see Apple giving us either Face ID or Touch ID um, for that purpose. Um, Also, I do think that the camera would be a great idea, um, again, for the Face ID to work. I really think that it would be a step in the future. I'm not really sure what else there is for Apple Watch to bring. I know Apple does work hard year after year, giving us more ideas. I do think that maybe a redesign of the Apple Watch is needed. We've seen the same design for many, many years. Um, Although they did change the crown, um, the way that you charge it in the back, they added the new sensor for health as well. But I think the redesigns, maybe a round design, would be pretty cool. Uh, but we'll have to see what Apple brings us and if Apple hears our requests. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to me if you guys are new. If you guys have any questions, please leave it down in the comment section below or join me on my social media. It's always at the end of the video. And thanks again to everybody who participated in the question that I asked on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for answering, and I will see you guys in the very next video. At Montreal.